Hey, what's up everybody, Revoltech bringing another action figure review. Today we're going to take a look at the Bandai Tamashii Nations Figuarts Iron Man Mark V with the Hall of Armor set. Another exciting entry to the Hall of Armor line. I'm very happy to get this, and I'm even more happy to receive what's coming after this one, which is the Mark IV Iron Man with the donuts and all that. That's very, very awesome looking. But today we're looking at the Mark V. This is the first time that Bandai Tamashii has made Mark V Iron Man. They never ever made it when Iron Man 2 came out. They only made the regular suit and War Machine, and that's it. But now they're finally going back and making this suitcase suit. So the Mark V is here. Same box as always, same box as the other Hall of Armor combos. So this was purchased from agelessgeeks.com, and you can grab yours there today. Don't forget to use the promo code ERivera94 and you'll get 5% off any of your purchases on the website. So without further ado, here's the front of the package, and then the side does show a picture of the figure, but it is a pretty big box, so I can't really fit it here. But here is the back. We have the suitcase, we have Iron Man Mark V, the Hall of Armor, a picture of all of them put together. Once you do get them all, once they all get released, this is what you're going to be able to accomplish. And then we also have Iron Man doing the Spartan kick on the right there. So let's get him out and see how he looks. Alright, Mark V is out of the package along with his Hall of Armor set. He does come with his standard effects and hands. I say that because all the Iron Man figures pretty much come with this. At least for the past like 20 releases. So here's the two longer ones with the hole in it, so you can peg it into his hand that has a peg on it. We have these two, which are the thrusters for the bottom of his feet. So these have a peg instead of a hole, so that goes into the peg hole underneath his feet. And then these shorter repulsor blasts that go on the hand also, just like the longer ones with the peg hole there. He does come with a suitcase version of his suit, so that's nice. And then we have the two fists on the figure itself. The two open hands, or the blasting hands, are for the blasting effect. So there is the peg right there, and as we all know, you peg in the effect, and there you have it. So there's that. Also, we do have two regular open hands with no peg. And of course, there's a peg hole on the top of each hand because you have to use the same hand guard on each hand when you alternate them, unfortunately. So we have two straight posed hands right here, and that's it. That concludes all the accessories. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a closer look at him. We have pretty nice sculpting going on overall on the figure. The paint's pretty nice too. There are some areas on my specific figure where some of the quality control got out of hand, and that goes right here for the hand guard. A little nick right there, but that is pretty rare to see on an SH Figuarts. They're pretty good about this stuff. But you know, you can play that off as a battle damage mark off of his metallic armor, you know, and he always has some scuffs on his armor anyways. But if we admire the sculpt going on here, we can see the all new sculpt for this Mark V Iron Man. To the back right there, it looks pretty nice. And the arm. Now this little torso abdominal piece is very, very loose, and I don't like it. I don't like that at all. They normally do a better job at that, but for some reason this one is very, very loose. Luckily, once you don't move it around, it looks okay. Almost looks like you can hide it. But yeah, once you're kind of moving the joint, it's gonna rattle a little bit there. The arc reactor is pretty nice too. It's not painted, but it is sculpted inside there. For the helmet, you can see the likeness is there. They did a good job too. It almost gives off the look that it can be removed, the faceplate, but it can't. The head's on this head joint here that is, I don't know, it's a big stick, and it's very visible through the back. And if you look up and you look underneath there, it gets very ugly. You can see that right there. So you don't want to look in there, but I don't know what they did there. I don't think any of the previous Iron Mans had this type of neck or head joint. It's a ball jointed head, but still it's kind of weird when you move it up and he looks like that. So if you want him in a flying pose, you're gonna have to press it down like this so it doesn't show it, and you can still pull it off. So that's the proper way of putting him in a flying pose without him looking weird. Because if you do it the other way, whoops, there it popped off the head. Do it the other way is gonna look stupid. So keep it like that. I'm sure that's the way you're supposed to do it anyways. Already, articulation, the head goes left and right as we saw it on a ball joint. So it goes up and down fairly good. Tilts all the motion that you would want on the head. It's there. There is a neck joint as well that moves forward and back, side to side and out, almost just like the head on that ball joint. So arms go forward and back. They go in and out. The shoulder guard is on a hinge, so that's good. Bicep swivel, we have a double jointed elbow that bends quite a lot right there, so that looks good. The wrist is also on a ball joint, so it swivels and it goes forward and back just as so. There's a handguard there that is also hinged as well. Diaphragm joint swivels, goes forward and back. Don't forget I mentioned that rattling abdominal piece that I dislike. Wish they would have done that a little bit differently. Doesn't seem like there's a waist swivel now that I can feel. Yeah, I think there is. It's just hidden underneath that torso piece. But yeah, that whole entire abdominal area is able to move thanks to that piece being loose. But again, it sucks that it's that loose. Alright, so the legs go forward and back, in and out. Very good range of motion on the in and out there, and the forward and back. Good motion there. The legs do drop down SH Figuarts style to allow that motion to be possible. There is a thigh swivel. You got some double jointed knees there. Ankles go forward and back. They pivot, they swivel, and they have toe hinges that are very stiff. I can't do it. Yeah, very stiff toe hinge. But it's there. It's there. It's just very stiff. It is die-cast feet, in case you guys were wondering. This armor being skinnier than the other armors, I do feel that it makes it possible for him to be posed a lot easier and more dynamically. Not that this is any type of dynamic pose, but it was fairly easy to get him to bend his knees, legs, and everything to get him on one knee. So I tend to have a little trouble with doing that on the other Ironmans. It's a little bulkier even with the SH Figuarts joint system. They're still possible, but this one was just a heck of a lot easier to do. And I think all around, just when I showed off that articulation, that you know how you can pretty much do a split there. Everything is very highly articulated, and he's a lot skinnier, so that makes everything a little bit easier too. Also, in case I did not mention, there is some type of ball joint inside the thigh swivel that also allows it to bend like this too, so there's more motion on that thigh. Alright, in comparison here, next to the Revoltech Ironman Mark V, pretty much the only other Mark V Ironman import that we have is the Revoltech version that they released many years ago. And now it has finally met its match, the SH Figuarts version, and I have to say that the SH Figuarts is a superior figure. Just overall paint-wise and scope-wise and design-wise, it looks a lot better. Color-wise too. I'm not sure if you can note it in the video, but the silver they used on the SH Figuarts one looks a lot more metallic. It looks more real, more screen accurate than the silver they used on the Revoltech version. And I think overall the sculpt looks better, especially when it comes to the face mask, I guess you can say. Overall, it's better on the SH Figuarts version. Even the red has a nicer metallic looking red than the Revoltech version. Now, don't get me wrong, the Revoltech version has held the crown all these years. It's still a good looking Mark V. It's still a lot better than the Hasbro Mark V. So that is that. But overall, the SH Figuarts one is better. As you know, Revoltech has those ball joints that are visible everywhere. You can see the difference there. I mean, the ball joint shows there's no detail. There's no ball joint here, and there's a lot of detail there that makes it look, you know, like it's a suit and not an action figure. So there's more of those ball joints on the thigh there. Of course, Figuarts doesn't need that. So looking at the other knee, you can see just a ball right there. It's just a ball, and there's no ball on that knee. So yeah, I had to go with the SH Figuarts one on this one. Both are highly articulated and they can pretty much get in the same poses, so I do give Revoltech that. Alright, so here's a full size comparison. Next to the other Hall of Armor figures, we have the Mark II and the Mark VI. Next to the Mark V, here you can see how they're pretty much the same height as they should be. It's Tony Stark's same guy, so it should be around the same height. Of course, doesn't grow or shrink or anything like that, so that's good. So there you have them all together, and all in the Hall of Armor, connected in all there we have the 3 Iron Man suits inside the Hall of Armor sets. We are missing Mark III. I do have him, but I don't have it here with me. But I will have them all together once we finally complete 7 figures, the 7 suits for the Hall of Armor, and we have them all connected with the lights on and everything. I cannot wait till that day, and we'll make a video just for that. Alright guys, so there you have it. That concludes my review on the Mark V Hall of Armor set from Bandai Tamashii Nations. Very good set. It's going to run you about $100. Pretty much $50 for the figure, $50 for the Hall of Armor piece. Well worth it for any Iron Man fan, especially if you're trying to get a Hall of Armor like me. It's a must-have, especially if you're an Iron Man fan. How do you not have a Hall of Armor? So I'm on my way to completing it. Can't wait for the rest of the figures to come out. I'm super stoked, which it hasn't even been shown yet, but a Mark I to come out. That will be amazing. So anyways, with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you guys would like, and don't forget to have a great day. Bye.